What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, wishing you a happy Halloween. So what better way to celebrate Halloween than using the spookiest deck in Buddy Fight, which is Death Abigail. So this deck has been getting a lot of hype in Japan and making a lot of good tournament results. So today I will be here doing a deck profile on the Death Abigail deck. So the brand new Abigail actually allows us to get an additional turn, but in exchange you won't be able to do the next turn you won't be able to do attacks. But one thing that they forgot is you can actually use the Death archetype to make your opponent cards betray themselves and deal huge damage to the opponent. So imagine this, you have 2 free turns to kill off your opponents, and it's really easy because the meta nowadays consists of high crit monsters and basically stuff that they don't have shields when they are attacking against themselves. For example, Atora, because Atora's obviously you don't play shields when you're playing Atora, but you play Protect Atora. But if Atora were to attack yourself, you're in deep trouble. So the deck profile is really cool, and I really love this deck. It's another way you can play Abigail, one of my favorite units, because it just looks so dang cool and just giving you an extra turn. It's like stop time. Ooh, fantastic. So yeah, so the deck consists of the ability to make your opponent attack themselves. So how do you do that? With units such as Garros, which allows you to make your opponent attack themselves by timing itself. And you can actually make the attack twice because Garros has the ability to restand itself. So it's a fantastic deck in overall. But, so you guys may ask, but Card Protagonist, what if I'm going first? Doesn't that mean that I'm not going to do damage? You can, if you're going first and you want to, this deck is capable of FTKing, by the way. It's easy to do 10 damage with this deck. Alright, if you're going first and your opponent doesn't summon a monster, do not worry because you have this guy, Konata. Konata basically summons a token onto your opponent's field with a 2 crit, so you can actually use that token to like commit suicide, make them commit suicide. So it is a very flexible deck as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go through deck profile and then follow up by some combos which you can do with this deck. So enjoy. So first up, 4 copies of Abigail. So what Abigail does is call cost of pay to gauge. All cards on the field cannot be destroyed or returned to your hand by your opponent's card effects, and cannot be bounced back, and so cannot be removed. So this is a bit irrelevant. His most important ability is his overturn ability. So pay 1 gauge and the beginning of your opponent's turn, they just skip their turn. So basically it gives you 2 turns in one burst. Very good combo with the self-attacking combo, since you will not be able to attack. You can see during your next turn your cards on the field cannot attack, but you can always use their abilities to make your opponent attack themselves. So yeah, it's a 7/3/7 stats, so it's pretty good because if you're going first turn, you call Abigail, swing for 3, then your next turn your opponent's left with 7 life or maybe 8 life if you are playing Thunder Empire. You just do the combo and they are pretty much dead. So yeah, Abigail is very important in the deck because you'll be able to get an extra turn to do more crazy combos with this deck. So 4 copies of Abigail and 1 as the buddy, because I'll be using Abigail quite often since it's part of the key mechanic of the deck. But if you do not use Abigail, you do not get Abigail, it's okay because this deck can manage on its own. The Abigail is just a bonus. Right, next up, 4 copies of Death Wizard Dragon. It's a death and it's a black dragon. When this card enters the field, if you can charge 2 gauge. If you do, you must take 1 damage. So yeah, just gauge adder. Gauge is a bit important in this deck since you'll be using Abigail, as previously mentioned in my previous deck profiles. Abigail eats a bit of gauge, so he just gives you free gauge, and he can just swing it first turn if you need to. So let's say if you do not get Abigail, you can just summon this, charge 2 gauge, and swing your opponent. So that your opponent summons a monster next turn, then you go crazy with your stuff. So 4 copies for gauge. 4 copies of Bone Master Garros. It is President Shido's buddy monster. And why is he good? He's one of the best cards in this deck because he's able to make your opponent attack themselves 2 times. So counter, during your attack phase, if there are no cards in battle, choose a monster on your opponent's field and rest his card. If you do, stand that chosen monster and attack themselves. So for example, let's say your opponent has an Abigail, okay? So Abigail will probably attack last turn, use a Bone Garros skill, rest, reset Abigail, and he attacks himself. So that's 3 crits to their face. Alright, so second counter ability, you pay 1 gauge if you do send this card. You may only activate this ability once per turn. So basically, once you rest already, you can pay the 1 gauge restand, rest again, make them attack themselves again. So this card is basically a double attacking suicide monster. One of the key combos in the deck. I won't say key combos, but it is very powerful since 1 card for 2 self-damaging self-attack is just too good. So this is like the more basic version. counter during attack phase. If there are no cards in battle, choose a monster opponent's field, rest his card, and they attack once. So yeah, it's pretty much Bone Master Gyros, but it's a one-time use. Yeah. Now, 4 copies of Vendetta. Vendetta is also a very, very good card because right now, Vendetta's ability basically allows you to give one of your opponent's monster on the field 2 additional crits by paying 1 gauge, and yeah, basically you make them gain the extra crit so that they commit suicide even harder. So that is a very, very evil card. It is I think the name is called Vendetta because I remember, if not wrong, the Vendetta mask is actually like a betrayal or something like that. Self-inflict. It's like a terrorism if you guys watch the movie. Alright, so next up, 4 copies of Spooky Pumpkin Dude. Bone Labor Quinata. Quinata is fantastic, especially if you're going first or your opponent refuses to call any monster onto their field. Activate. If your opponent does not have any monster in the center, choose a card in the opponent's drop zone and rest his card. If you do, put a chosen card face down in the opponent's field as a monster size 0, 6k attack, 6k defense, and 2 crits. So the reason why this card is very important is because if you're going first or your opponent does not call any monsters, or for example maybe like Hero World, they don't call monsters much, you can actually force them to trigger a token onto the field, so that token has 2 critical and 6k attacks in case your opponent has defense, and you can make them commit suicide by using your fellow monsters. So this is very, very good, especially in first turn. This deck is potentially able to FTK. So yeah. So next up is spells. We play 4 copies of Banquet of the Unrighteous. The reason why I play this card is because it gives you more consistency and it helps you get stuff into your drop zone as well. For example, you play Castino. Castino allows you to get 1 card from the drop zone back to your hand. So it's a very important card. And also Conetta. Okay, one reason why stuff like... Alright, I'll get that to later. Basically, if you're using Conetta, you must make sure your opponent has cards in the drop zone. Especially if they're going first, they usually won't have cards in the drop zone. So there are some cards in the deck I play which forces them to throw new stuff in the drop zone so that you can use those cards as tokens. So yeah, this card is just basically allows you to fetch a monster and just gives you the consistency you need. 4 copies of Black Ritual. Since we play Abigail and some Black Dragons in the deck, especially Arbitrary, this is a fantastic card. Gives you additional draw power, huge draw power, one of the best Darkness Dragon World cards. So cast cost, destroy a Black Dragon on a field. If you do, charge 1 gauge, gain 1 life, and draw 2 cards. So destroying Black Dragons on the field is very it's no problem because most of the time you want them dead sometimes. So for example, you use Death Wizard already, you can just use this, gain extra cards, hand cards in your hand so that you can do your combos. Or if Abigail, after the turn that you use the Abigail, you won't be attacked the next turn anyway, so Black Ritual it, get some cards into your hand, do some combos. Alright, 4 copies of Arbitrary. This card is almost like a must play if you're playing Black Dragons, because this card is so damn good. So pay 1 gauge, you can, if you have a Black Dragon in the drop zone, you can draw 1 card. So that is mini draw power for you guys. And his second ability is when this card is destroyed and sent to the drop zone, your opponent discards a card from their hand. So that is pretty important because first up, you want stuff into your opponent's drop zone. So one good way to make them get cards in the drop zone is making them discard. So Conetta will have a life target for tokens, and overall just extra draw power and making opponents minus, so it's a very, very good card. 4 copies of Million Age. Million Age is not really used much, but finally as a home. So pay 1 life, put the top 2 cards of each fighter's deck. I love how they use the word each fighters instead of players. Oh, you and me and a fighter. So fighter's deck into the drop zone, so opponent and you Mewtwo. So it's good because you can fill up your drop zone for stuff so they can summon with Castino and Scraber. So Million Age allows you to get stuff into your drop zone and you can draw 1 additional card as well. So consistent gives you speeds up your deck and gives you stuff in the drop zone, give your opponent stuff in the drop zone for tokens. 4 copy of Castino. Castino is a new card from the set. It gives support for death. Put a death from your drop zone into your hand by paying 1 gauge. Great because you can actually add the Death Scraber if you want to. Add any death monster or card in your hand from the drop zone. So even death spells, you can add them to your hand. So for example, if you want death, which is death? Let me see. I'm not wrong. This is death. Yeah, you can add this into your hand, so it's nice, free draw power. 2 copies of Abyss Symphony. Abyss Symphony is basic draw power. You pay a lot of life in this deck, such as a Death Wizard, and I believe Scriber allows you to pay life. You pay a lot of life in this deck, so going to 6 is really easy. Get draw power, get some cards into your hand so they can do combos. It's just good to have. 4 copies of items. Deathpan Scriber. Scriber is just a very handy card. Pay 1 life to equip. It's cheap because 1 life is basically free. Choose a death with 0 monsters, 0 power. So a lot of the death in the deck is 0 power. So 0, 0, 0, 0. So basically it allows you to call any death from the drop zone. If you do, you can just call it. So yeah, free resource, very good. Basically what you want to use this for is because sometimes when you use Vendetta, you rest, give on your opponent's monster 1 additional crit, it's pretty much dead. So use Death Scriber, call another Garros, or call Bone Ankh thing, so they can kill opponents. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. And let us go to some combos. Alright, so let's say we are facing against a huge monster such as Chaos. Very popular in the meta right now because of how high powered and how it's able to OTK. But usually if your opponent is going first, they'll just usually just call 1 monster, which is most likely the high crit one. So let's say we are facing up against Chaos. Oh no, Chaos is gonna attack me. I'm left with 7 life. Okay, that's fine. So let's draw some cards and let's see what it can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a fantastic hand actually. And it's really easy to get them because there's a lot of consistency cards in the deck. So one thing you can do is, first, call Vendetta. Vendetta's ability allows you to give a pay 1 gauge and give Gear God additional 2 critical. So right now it is a 5 crit monster. So I gotta put dice here for 5 crit. And then I'll equip Scriber, and I will call Audunch and Garros. So let the carnage begin. So if you need more extra monsters, such as maybe more of, if you have drop zone, have more Garros or stuff, you could use Death Scriber. But for now, let's say we do not have the optimal play, we're just gonna go and kill opponents right now. So yep. So first we're gonna use Ankh, attack itself. Alright, it's 5 critical. That's 5 it right in the face because Ankh's ability resends Gear God and attack itself. So opponent left 5 life. Let's say they body caught, okay, they left 6 life. Cool. So Garros skill, rest, resends and attack itself. So if your opponent doesn't negate, it's in deep trouble. So you left 1 life, let's say, and you can pay 1 more gauge to resend Garros, attack 1 more time itself. And usually Gear Gods do not have protection against themselves. So in this situation, it is pretty deadly. And of course, if you want to torture the opponent even more, call Abigail first, pay 3 gauge, use the overturn skill, attack, then start your turn again and do it again. So your opponent is so dead with this combo. So this is the play you could go for if you're going first. If your opponent goes first and goes second. Let's go on to the second, the FTK combo. Alright, so how to perform an first turn kill. So your opponent's using Thunder Empires, decide you 11 life, that doesn't matter because they're gonna be in deep trouble anyway. So if you are going first and your opponent won't have any monsters, do not worry because we have some combos that you guys can follow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then let's say we have 2 gauge. Alright, so let's say you have a okay, it's a pretty mediocre hand, but let's see if we can do stuff. You know what, I'm just not gonna charge. So I'm just gonna look at top 3 cards. So oh look, there's Abigail. So I'm gonna add Abigail to my hand. First part of combo. Really easy because there's a lot of draw power in the deck. So yeah, this goes to the drop zone, sorry. So Abigail. First I'll use this, charge 2 gauge, fine. Then I'll use Dark Ritual. Charge and draw. 1, 2. Then I will call Abigail. Right, Abigail, so I pay 2 gauge. And then pay 1 gauge. For its ability, overturn. So your opponent skips their next turn. But during my turn, I can't attack. So it's easy. There's no problem about that because I'll attack Abigail. They're left with like probably 8 life. 8 life. Then it's my turn again, stand and draw. Alright, so I will charge and draw. So next up, we will use, since Abigail will not be able to attack, we will have to replace it. Either use a Black Ritual and stuff, otherwise you can just call Vendetta over. So Vendetta is not that useful. You are the Cordyceps, I'm sorry. And usually we have started to put into your opponent's drop zone. So his ability, rest 1, make your opponent
force the opponent to call a token from the drop zone. So let's say you discard a spell, so the opponent have a spell with 2 critical. So let's put a 2 critical on here. So we have 2 critical here. So Vendetta, I'll rest it, and it becomes a 4 critical. So next I will use Bone Label Garros, and basically just rest Garros, attack themselves with 4. That 4, Garros skill, pay on gauge, we stand, attack themselves with 4 again. So basically just like that. This is actually a very I won't say a very good hand, but you guys can see how it actually works. If your opponent doesn't call stuff the first turn, it is possible to FTK with this deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on the Death Abigail deck. If you'd like to see more deck profiles, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like my Facebook page. Also, if you'd like to buy my decks, be sure to check out my shop, www.buddy-mart.com. Links are in the description box down below. And so, thanks for watching and keep on buddy fighting. Rawr.